Welcome to this week's Construction Review Weekly Roundup on Africa's building and construction industry. In this week's news, Nigeria to prioritize construction of a second runway at Abuja Airport. South Sudanese government sets aside $1 billion for road construction. Construction of Namibia's new gateway port to begin next year. And a private investor to invest $279 million in hypermarkets in Egypt. We also move on to Bagamoyo Port, where finally work is to start off in 2015. And to conclude today's news, we look at the events highlights and take a look at what happened at the annual Power, Steel and Housing Exhibition and Conference held in Abuja, Nigeria last month. Welcome, I'm Eric Kimani. Now we begin our news with Nigeria, where the country has decided to prioritize construction of a second runway at the Abuja airport. Now the new runway, which was already on the drawing board, will now be fast-tracked after President Goodluck Jonathan issued an order to ministries involved to see to its construction. Now the news of revisiting construction of the second runway was revealed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Aviation, Captain Shehu Iyal, in a news conference held earlier this week. The planned second runway on the airport is expected to increase safety, security and efficiency at the airport amidst increased interest of international airlines to fly to and from Nigeria. On to South Sudan, where the government has set aside $1 billion for road construction. The funds will be used for construction of the road linking Juba to Bor in Jonglei State and Rumbek in Lake State. Now the road is currently under construction and is expected that once complete it will reduce the price of commodities in the country, which have been in recent years skyrocketed due to poor state of roads. China Exim Bank will make available the funds for the project, which will cover the road from Juba-Magala-Gamenza-Bor and Juba-Teregeke-Yirol-Rumbek. Now the new road construction project has been highly welcomed considering the poor state of roads in the country. Most are covered with potholes and unstable bridges. This has caused loss of business due to inefficient means of good transportation. Now in Namibia, construction of the new gateway port is to begin next year, according to NAMPORT Chief Executive Shehu Iyal. This will be the first phase of the Southern Africa Development Community Gateway Port, which is to be located 5 kilometers north of Walvis Bay on the way to Swakopmund. Now the facilities lined up for construction include 360 million oil tanker jetty, a 6.8 million oil facility, storage facility, and petrol pipeline infrastructure. Now the petroleum pipeline infrastructure will benefit exporters and importers of oil from landlocked Southern African countries. A multi-purpose dry bulk terminal and a coal terminal are some of the facilities lined up for phase 2 construction, which was slated to start in 2013. Now the two terminals will help in shipment of 65 million tons of Botswana's Mabula coalfields in 5 berths. The port will also cater for shipments to and from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Over now to Egypt, where a private developer will invest $280 million in setting up 10 hypermarket branches in various parts of the country. This was revealed by the Minister of Supply and Internal Trade, Khaled Hanafi. This will see construction of the branches in places such as Gabea and Ismailia, where tenders for plots for construction of the hypermarkets have been offered. The minister has also said that the investment initiative will spur domestic trade in the country and added that the company will also engage in restructuring its administration. The new hypermarkets across the country will seek to benefit from a growth of 10% in the local food industry, which last year now amounts to about $48.9 billion, and this has been contributed by the rising population, which is increasing at the rate of 2 million people per year. In Tanzania, the start of construction of the Bagamoyo port has finally been set at July 2015. The construction has been delayed by prolonged negotiations about the infrastructure to link the port to national transport. The construction agreement was signed on Sunday this week and follows a framework deal signed last year. The port will be constructed at an estimated cost of $10 billion at Begani Creek. The Tanzanian government has signed a memorandum of understanding with China Merchants Holding International and the State General Reserve Fund to develop the economic zone. The Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete indicated that the state is dedicated to see that the project takes off, since it will bring economic benefits to the entire country. The port is expected to be the busiest in the region, overtaking the port of Mombasa in neighboring Kenya. It will also ease traffic from Dar es Salaam ports. Last but not least, for the events desk, we look at the Steel and Housing Exhibition and Conference, which took place between the 23rd and 24th of September in Abuja, Nigeria. The annual Power, Steel and Housing Exhibition and Conference was organized with endorsements by Nigerian Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, Federal Ministry of Power, Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, and other major industry players. It was targeted at opening the Nigerian and West African markets to key industries, mainly in power generation and distribution, renewable, steel production, mines, architecture, building materials. Organizers lined up carefully selected topics for discussion on the conference segment to reflect the realities and possibilities in the sectors, including new technologies on turbine engines and renewable energy sources, distribution, power upgrade, iron ore, home, office wares, electronics, blast furnaces, and much more. That's all we have for you this week. For more news and updates from Africa, please visit our website at www.constructionreviewonline.com. I'm Eric Mainge. Have a good week.